So at least when it comes to like my dad, he has a third grade education, right? So I grew up with watching him work, just work, work, work. He would leave home like at 2, 3 when we were just getting from school, and he wouldn't get back till maybe like 1 or 2 in the morning. And then I vividly remember times where it was like the weekend, like a Friday, like not a school night. And my brother and sister and I would just stay up waiting for him because he would always bring like, so he was pretty much like a dishwasher, and he prepared like plates at like um, a country club essentially. So he
Okay.
would come back and bring back treats and things like that. So we always had this unbelievable respect for my dad. Because my dad wasn't like, you couldn't say he was like intellectual, but man, like the work ethic that both him and my mom have were just like, I had never seen that anywhere else. And like that had an impact in the way that I chose to take on not only school, but my career as well.
Yep. And that's a perfect way to say that, right? The fact that your dad had that work ethic and was just like would grind it out, like that bled into you, right? And the way that you think of how you should be working. And my parents were kind of took a similar approach. My dad was working at the steel mill. He was also a teacher, and went back to school to become a accountant. So he's doing all these different things to better his life, better his family's life and situation. My mom doing the same thing. She was going to night classes to become a teacher and all these, and doing that with raising a family at the same time, and just being able to balance it all and not make it so, the kids as we're growing up are, an afterthought. It was never that kind of feeling, just to be able to balance all of it. And as a kid, you don't appreciate it to the point where you're like, wow, that is a lot of work. Because
Mm-hmm.
as you're an adult now, you're like, wow, it is a lot of mental work to, okay, I just got done with a full day of work, and then I can't imagine trying to balance going to night school, but then also having time to make sure that I'm taking my child for activities and spending time with her, helping her with her lessons. It's a lot. And so being an adult, you really like appreciate more and more. It's kind of funny how as an adult, you're still taking lessons from what your parents are doing.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. Something happens after like 21, 22, where you just like start reflecting back at your life and your parents. You're like, man, I was such a jerk. You know? Like I think back in some of the stuff that I would do. And I mean, I wasn't by any means like a crazy bad kid, but like there's definitely times where I was ungrateful.
Yeah.
And you think back and you're just like, dude, like, what was I thinking? It's really interesting to be able to look back.